When humanity first joined the Orion coalition, nobody expected us to become indispensable. We were new, physically weaker than most species, lacking advanced plasma weaponry or psionic abilities. Compared to the towering Dravathi war clans or the energy-wielding Kalari, humans looked fragile. But we had something else. We could fix anything. My name is Armin Riaz, former aerospace engineer from Karachi, now senior combat systems technician aboard the coalition flagship Resolute Dawn. My job wasn't glamorous. I didn't command fleets or negotiate treaties. I repaired what the galaxy's greatest warriors broke. And nobody broke more equipment than General Vieshira of the Dravathi Imperium. The Dravathi were built for war. 7 feet tall on average. Dense musculature layered beneath scaled, obsidian-toned skin. Bioluminescent markings trace their arms and necks, glowing brighter during heightened emotion. Their eyes were molten gold, slit-pupilled, and unblinking. Vieshira was taller than most. She commanded 3 fleets and had ended 2 planetary sieges personally. Stories circulated about her cleaving armored vehicles in half with her plasma glaive. She terrified most species.
Me?
I just sighed whenever I saw her walking toward my repair bay. Because if she was coming to me, something very expensive was broken. The day everything changed started like any other. The coalition was engaged in a defensive campaign against the Veruan swarm, an insectoid species that reproduced faster than anyone could eliminate them. We had just survived a brutal orbital skirmish near the Epsilon Gate. My console lit up with a priority alert. General Vieshira, armor failure, immediate attention required. Of course, I muttered. Minutes later, the doors to my bay parted. She stepped inside. Even damaged, her war presence filled the room. Her black and crimson combat armor was fused in places, plating warped from plasma impact. One shoulder pauldron hung loose, sparks occasionally snapping from exposed circuitry beneath. Behind her, 2 Dravathi honor guards stood silently. I require repair, she said. Her voice wasn't loud. It didn't need to be. Yes, General, I replied, wiping grease off my hands. Let's see the damage. She approached the central platform and stood rigidly as I activated diagnostic scanners. A holographic model of her armor projected into the air, fractures along the spinal energy conduit, micro-tears in the chest plating, destabilization in the neural sync mesh. You took a direct hit, I said. I returned it, she replied.
I didn't doubt that.
All right, I said. I'll need you to step onto the platform.
She did.
Up close, Dravathi armor was a marvel. It wasn't just metal. It was semi-organic, grown, and engineered to bond with the wearer's nervous system. Removing it improperly could cause feedback shocks, which meant I had to work carefully and closely. Don't move, I said automatically as I knelt near her left side to detach the damaged pauldron. There was a brief silence. Then her bioluminescent markings flickered brighter. I am not moving, she said stiffly. I didn't notice at first. I was focused on the magnetic clamps fused to her shoulder joint. The Dravathi armor was designed for their hands, large, clawed, precise in combat but not ideal for delicate repairs. That's why humans had become so valuable. Our fine motor control outperformed most species in technical work. I leaned in further, reaching behind her shoulder plate. Hold steady, I murmured. Her breath shifted. Not louder, just different. The glow along her neck intensified. You are in close proximity, Technician Armin, she said. I glanced up briefly. I have to be. Her golden eyes met mine for half a second. Then she looked straight ahead again. Proceed, she said. It wasn't until I moved to the chest plating that things became complicated. The frontal armor had microfractures that required manual sealing. Automated nanobots could handle minor cracks, but this damage required physical recalibration of the internal energy lattice, which meant standing directly in front of her. Very close. Dravathi were taller, so I had to step onto a small elevation platform. Now we were nearly eye level. Again, I said lightly, trying to keep things professional. Don't move. Her glow flared brighter, this time visibly. I am a general of the Dravathi Imperium, she said. I do not fidget. Good, I replied, reaching toward the fractured chest plate. The armor there curved tightly across her torso, integrated seamlessly with her musculature. I had to press one hand against the plating to stabilize it while using a microseal torch with the other. The torch emitted a faint blue flame. I could feel the warmth radiating from her even through the armor. Dravathi body temperatures ran higher than human norms. You're overheating, I said casually, checking the internal readouts. I am not, she responded immediately. The thermal sensors disagree. That is battle residual heat. Aha. Her glow pulsed again. Then, in a lower voice, you are too close, human. My hand paused mid-adjustment. General, I said carefully, I am repairing structural lattice damage. I physically cannot do that from across the room. Her jaw tightened slightly. I am aware. I resumed working. But now I was very aware too. Rumors spread fast on a warship. Within hours, I noticed sideways glances from other technicians. The Kalari-Com officer actually smirked when I passed her in the corridor. Apparently, Dravathi bioluminescence shifts were not subtle to other species. That evening, I received another summons. Not to the repair bay, to the training deck. VA Shura stood alone in full armor, fully repaired. You wish to see me, General? I asked. Yes. She stepped closer. Too close this time. You are aware of Dravathi bonding customs? She asked. No. When a Dravathi's luminescent markings intensify in non-combat proximity to another being, it signifies elevated neural response. I blinked. Like adrenaline? Not precisely. Realization dawned slowly.
Oh.
Her eyes narrowed slightly. You did not intend to provoke this response? General, I was fixing your armor. She studied my face, searching for deception. You treated me as normal, she said. You're normal, I replied. For you. I am feared across 7 systems. Yeah, I said. But you still break your armor like everyone else. There was a pause. Then, unexpectedly, a soft rumbling sound escaped her. It took me a second to realize she was laughing. Dravathi laughter was rare and unsettlingly low. You are either brave, she said, or foolish. Probably both. Over the next weeks, the war intensified. The Veruan swarm adapted rapidly. Their bioships evolved armor-resistant to our plasma cannons. Casualties rose. VA Shura led every frontline engagement personally, and after each battle, she came to me, at first for armor repairs, then sometimes just to stand there while diagnostics ran. Do humans experience pre-battle neural acceleration? She asked once while I recalibrated her gauntlet servos. You mean nerves? Yes. Yeah. All the time. She considered that. I do not fear battle, she said. Everyone fears something. Her glow dimmed slightly. I feared extinction, she admitted. That caught me off guard. Dravathi birth rates decline each cycle, she continued. War accelerates the loss. You're fighting to survive, I said quietly. Yes. There was something different in her tone now. Less commander. More person. The turning point came during the siege of Arcturus Minor. The Veruan deployed a new bioweapon, acidic spores that corroded both metal and organic tissue. Coalition fleets were caught off guard. VA Shura's flagship took heavy damage. Her armor, though reinforced by my modifications, sustained critical failure in the spinal conduit. When she returned to the Resolute Dawn, she was injured. Not severely, but enough to bypass formalities. She entered my bay alone. No guards? I asked. They are unnecessary. I saw the damage immediately. The armor had fused partially to her back plating. Removing it would be painful. You'll need to brace, I said. I do not require sedation. I wasn't offering it. I moved behind her. Carefully disengaging the spinal clamps required both precision and physical support. Dravathi's spinal armor interfaced directly with their nervous system. A misalignment could trigger shock feedback. I placed one hand gently against her side to stabilize her. Don't move, I whispered. She inhaled sharply, but held steady. As I disengaged the final clamp, a surge of residual energy discharged. Instinctively, she staggered forward. Into me. My arms wrapped around her automatically to keep her upright. For a second, we just stood there. My face inches from the glowing lines across her neck. Her breath warm against my cheek. Her glow flared brighter than I had ever seen. You are stabilizing me, she said quietly. Part of the service package, I murmured. She didn't step away immediately. Neither did I. Then reality returned. I cleared my throat and resumed the repair. The war ended 3 months later. The coalition developed a resonance pulse, ironically designed by a team of humans, that disrupted the Veroan hive coordination. Without unified direction, the swarm fractured. Peace, fragile and uneasy, followed. On the day of the armistice ceremony, the Ashira stood before representatives of 12 species. Her armor gleamed flawlessly. Afterward, she came to the repair bay one last time. I have received reassignment, she said. Frontier. I guessed.
Yes.
Diplomatic oversight. That's new. The Imperium believes integration strengthens survival. I smirked. Sounds familiar. She stepped closer. No armor this time. Just ceremonial attire, lighter, less imposing. You altered more than my armor, human, she said. Hopefully for the better. She reached out, carefully, and placed her clawed hand over mine. Dravathi claws were sharp enough to pierce hull plating. She held me with perfect control. I do not know the future, she said, but I know proximity to you does not weaken me. That's good, I replied softly. It strengthens. Her glow intensified, not battle-bright, but warm, steady. I will require continued armor maintenance, she added. I raised an eyebrow. That's so. Yes. That's your official reasoning? It is sufficient. I laughed. Then don't move, I said quietly. Her eyes locked onto mine. I will not, she replied. And this time, standing that close wasn't the hard part anymore. It was walking away.